Hey my friends, we are back at this truly interesting place, right? Back in the nature. So today I want to talk about the shiftings of the timelines. And what are the timelines and how can you shift your timeline so you can experience a different reality. So I want to talk about it, especially right now when it feels like we are truly living in those crazy times, as I was talking before, and there was so much love in the community after that video of the crazy times. So I want to talk about it because many people are already shifting their timelines. So many people are actually living truly beautiful lives right now, and it doesn't mean that people are not struggling. Like I said, I'm sending love to everyone who is having hard times right now, because going through that phase of transformation is usually one of the hardest moments in our lives. As we say, the dark night of the soul, those are the hardest moments in our lives. Sometimes it happens when we lose money, sometimes it happens when we lose our loved ones, sometimes it happens when we lose a certain deal or when we get a certain idea but we lose the faith into it. And there's many different things that can happen in our lives, we all know that. But as we start emotionally experiencing and realizing what is happening during that time, and based by our memories from the past, we start predicting what can happen out of this situation. All we see is just the worst case scenario, right? If we look into the future right now and we watch some videos about what people are saying that will happen, we read some news, we read some stories, we will slowly start surrendering to it, because we will see there is no other way. And many people are giving up because of that. Many people are giving up their trust in themselves because of all the stories. So they are creating a destiny out of what they believe. And they believe what they've read, what they've heard, and so on. So this is so important to understand this concept of reality. It feels so beautiful to walk here, isn't it? I'm happy that you can join me here. Like, this part of the nature, it's something special. I don't know why I come here many times to meditate and just to walk up and down and to think like a weirdo. And I feel good about it. So yes, the timelines, my friends. Once we surrender to a certain belief, we make it as our destiny. Destiny is a path to destination where we see ourselves in the future. So if we just think about it, my friends, destiny is a path to the destination which we see ourselves at in our future. It doesn't mean that it's a fact, it's just your fact. I can see myself in my future completely somewhere else, because I've made it all up. I started believing that. I surrendered to that belief. I started feeling it emotionally that it's possible. And slowly my life started changing. Slowly I started meeting completely new people. I started meeting new opportunities. I've experienced new synchronicities. And many of those beautiful things, serendipities, all of that happened. And that's why I love to share those concepts with you, because they work. And many people know that. Many people are sharing that. But still, there's many people which don't know that. So, my friends, if you want to shift your timeline, firstly, we need to forget what we know, right? You know that statement, know thyself. If you want to know yourself, you need to forget everything about yourself. And once you will forget everything about yourself, you will be enlightened by the universe. That's coming from the Sanskrit, from the East. Once you forget everything about yourself, you will be enlightened by the universe. Look at that. The universe is not just in the stars, in the planets, it's in all of that. It's in you. Do you believe that? You know, the stories that we are telling to ourselves are determining where we are going. So, when we say meditate and your life will change, it's not actually true. Your life can only change if you apply the changes after you come out of meditation. Because we can cleanse the energy, we can cleanse the beliefs, we can cleanse and clear all the stories out of our minds. But if we will not apply the new ones, we will fall back into the old self. Which means that you can meditate all day long, but if you don't apply any changes after meditation, most probably you will fall back into your old self. That's why awareness is the key. Meditation is such a powerful tool because we gain a greater power of awareness. We become more aware. Once we become more aware, it's much harder to fall into the old patterns. But it's still possible. So after meditation comes a physical action. You know, if we want to shift our timeline of the future, we need to see our future with our mind's eye. We need to know what is our future. We need to see ourselves there. And when we say ourselves, it means humanity. It means all of us. The nature. What is our greatest connection with the nature? Like how to make it even more beautiful. Not how to make nature more beautiful, but our connection with nature. If we are the nature, why we don't feel like the nature? Why we feel so separated? It's an old concept, old idea, based on separation. People were separated so much that when all those ideas went through generations, we've completely lost what was the core of life, the unity. From unity comes common unity, which brings us to community. Where are communities now? So I mentioned before the awakening that is happening right now. Actually, people are getting back together because we are finding out that the only answers are actually in nature. Getting back connected with nature. So when same-minded people come together, they build communities again. But those communities are now not based on fear, on anger, on hate. Those communities are now built based on unity, based on the understanding that we are all equal. Nobody is more important than anybody else. Even the leaders of the communities are not more important than people which are still going through the process of understanding something. Nobody is more important than somebody else. That's such an incredible understanding. Once we understand that we are truly all equal, we will treat everybody equally, right? That's where we start shifting the timeline. You know, sometimes I receive emails of the prophecies of the future. And some of them are really negative. And some of them are are really beautiful. So then you ask yourself, which one of those is real? You know, which one to trust? And I always say everyone is real. You know, each of those different prophecies are real, but only for those who saw them. You know, in the past, when there was a certain prophet who predicted the future, he told it to everybody else, and people started acting and reacting and working and doing based by that prophecy. So together the huge groups of people were walking on the same timeline, and they've created that predicted future. You know, but in the times of information right now, because there are so many different predictions, so many people are living completely different realities. On the same world, on the same planet, we are living completely different realities because we've shifted onto completely different timelines. So it is happening right now for many people, and the greatest awakening in this story is that most of those transformative or transformations are based on unity. So I'm always smiling when I'm thinking about it, because once we find out what is not working, we can look into the future and ask ourselves how to make it work. What was missing before that was not working, and how to change it. Wars are not working, fights are not working, even the survival of the fittest by Charles Darwin is not working. You know, small fish will be eaten by the bigger fish will be eaten by the bigger fish, and that bigger fish will be once eaten by bigger fish. Once there will not be any bigger fish, the nature will take care that something will happen, that all of that will go back in balance. Sometimes there are natural catastrophes, sometimes something completely unpredictable happens out of nature, just so everything can go back to balance. So it's not about survival of the fittest, it's about survival of the wisest. And we need to get wiser. So it's about following the intelligence, the greater intelligence of the universe, which is based on unity, right? It has nothing to do with the intellect. We can know much, we can read lots of books, we can learn, we can go to many different schools, and we can feel smart, we can feel like we are truly intelligent. But you know, if we don't sense that connection with nature, if we can't connect with that greater intelligence of the universe, we can only use that intellect for making tools, weapons to destroy ourselves, because we want to show up how smart we are, how powerful we are. That's what was happening before. So the only way, if we truly want to shift our timeline on the better one, on the one which is truly working, is to connect, learn to connect with the greater intelligence, download the ideas from there, and then act with that, take actions, create, do things, connect with people, help one another, express more compassion, share more love. And love is not just a word, it's not just, you know, when we start hugging everybody else. Love is a feeling, my friends. We all know that. Love is a feeling that we feel when we say, I'm in love. right? It's a feeling. We can awaken this feeling anytime we want. I've made a guided meditation, Reconnect Back with the Soul, where you can experience that feeling. And you will see, if we start acting, making changes in our lives with that feeling, we will not be hurting others. We will be helping others. If we start making art out of that feeling, not out of pain, but out of that feeling of love, we will create truly beautiful creations. If we start healing others with that feeling, which is possible, distance healing, energy healing, it's all possible. We can heal the planet, we can heal people, we can heal one another, and it all starts within us. So, if you want to shift your timeline, just look on life from that greater perspective. Do not surrender to something which is not vibing with you. Do not surrender to something which is not resonating with your heart. Create a greater vision of how your future looks like. And believe into it. Every single day, reconnect back with it. Awaken the emotions of that future. Go into meditation, visualize it. Feel the gratitude for it, feel the joy for it, as it is already real. Write it down, what you're doing, how do you feel when it's already happening, and all of that. It's the power that we all have to design our lives that way. That's where we start shifting the timelines. And we can all do it, my friends. So, I will leave you here. I hope you had a beautiful time, that you are enjoying as much as I was, because it's a truly beautiful day. So, yes, my friends, this is it. You can shift your timeline anytime you want. So this is it, my friends. Have a beautiful day. I'm sending you all love, blessings, and lots of power. See you in the next one. One love.